Today, the Cabinet has confirmed that Badgerys Creek will be Sydney's second airport. It will be an airport for Western Sydney. The planning and design work will start immediately, and my expectation is that construction will begin in 2016. This is a long overdue decision. In fact, people started talking about the need for Sydney to have a second airport when the Deputy Prime Minister and I were still at school. So it's a long overdue decision which, to be honest, has been shirked and squibbed by successive governments for far too long. The vast bulk of the spending required to produce an airport will be by the private sector. I also want to stress that the government's approach will be roads first, airport second, because we don't want the people of Western Sydney to have to have an airport without having the decent transport infrastructure that Western Sydney deserves. And
look, it's a disaster for Western Sydney, but a decision, I suppose, it's been about 15 months in the making, and at least we can get the debate rolling out there to actually identify all the problems with Badgerys Creek Airport, and hopefully the government will reverse this decision in a few years' time, as we saw back in the 90s. Look, as far as noise pollution and air pollution and freedom of movement through Western Sydney, will be devastating consequences that's going to happen to Western Sydney residents. At the moment we have cardiovascular disease, respiratory diseases, asthma. All cancer rates are about 3 to 4 times higher in Western Sydney compared to the eastern seaboard, and that's because the air just cannot be cleared out of Western Sydney. And you're adding an airport into it, it's going to be catastrophic impact on the residents of Western Sydney.
When fully operational, we believe that this will lead to 60,000 new jobs in Western Sydney. It is essentially going to be an infrastructure package for Western Sydney, a long overdue infrastructure package for Western Sydney that does also involve an airport. So I think this is a good news story for Western Sydney. It's good news for jobs. And because of the importance of Sydney in our national economy, it's good news for Australia.